Objective of the hackathon is to build for India, and Amazon Smbhav Hackathon, as the name says, Smbhav means possible, has provided a platform for all the participants by making it possible to build innovative solutions for India. This was a platform provided for everyone pan India to build solutions, and we have seen some really good solutions coming in. To review the products and ideas, we have an amazing jury here today. I'll start with Anand Dutta. Anand is a principal at Nexus Venture Partners. He focuses on investing in early stage seed and Series A teams, which are driven to solve large impact challenges. If you have any ideas, please reach out to him. Anand will be very happy to hear from you. And he's particularly interested in fintech, insurtech, SaaS, health, and solutions for Bharat. Another jury member, Gopalkrishnan Ramaswamy. He was one of our webinar panelists as well. He's a technology leader for SMB at Amazon India Software Private Limited. Having worked in technology for more than 20 years, he has helped many enterprises achieve digital transformation by adapting disruptive technologies. Another member from his team, Aravind Kannan, is a solution architect at AWS. He has expertise in cloud computing, digital solutions, IoT, and experienced in multiple domains, including healthcare, medical devices, and media. He is very keen in learning new tech and solving interesting challenges. Santosh Panda. He needs no introduction. He was a founder at Explara, an event and ticketing management platform. He grew Explara by hustling and bootstrapping to VC funding before moving on to foundership with another panel member, jury member here today, Bimlesh Gundurao. Bimlesh is an executive leader with over 22 years of global experience in building products, solutions, outsourcing, and outputs. He has held and enjoyed senior leadership roles across product engineering, product management, and he's running and co-founded foundership right now with Santosh, which is a peer network of founders and leaders to help startups succeed with coaching, capital, and community. I thank you all the jury members again for your time today. Coming to the overall journey, in the span of 5 weeks, we were able to reach out to over 1 million users pan-India, which resulted in over 36,000 registrations. And from there, it wasn't an easy task to shortlist top 10 teams who are here today for the final demo. Kudos to all the finalists who are here today. Team Equilixer.
My name is Deep, and my teammate Mr. Ashish is sitting right here. So we are a young startup from Bangalore, India, and we have some past experience in 3D modeling and web-based VR and AR applications. But we haven't tried 3D scanning before, and the hackathon has actually pushed us into trying it out. But I think it's quite relevant to what we do in our field. Coming to Indian art NFTs, so there are a lot of Indian art forms because they are originally made with locally available materials. For example, for Rajasthan, they make it with stone, and in Andhra Pradesh, there is softwood, and similarly for other regions. So even for something as simple as an elephant sculpture, this one is made with wood, this is with stone, and this is with metal. Each one is really unique, and images just don't capture their intrinsic value. And even for the 2D art form, this one is made of gold, but you don't really feel the shine of the gold when you see the image. So this is where I think it's quite relevant to NFTs because they are really unique from the current NFTs of the monkeys that are available. But there is a lot of attention that's paid to the platform where the NFTs are posted, but I don't think there's enough attention paid to improving the quality of the product that's made into the NFT. So that is where we thought we could add a lot of value. And we think it's relevant because recently there's news that Instagram is launching AR NFTs. So this is our approach where we want to try to create AR NFTs because seeing something in 3D is much different from seeing it just as an image. And NFT platforms are becoming more mainstream. So the goal of our project was to create an AR NFT of this as a test subject. This is one of the native arts that originated near my hometown, which I used to play with as a child. And we'll first show the demo. So this is the demo. It's just the browser URL that anybody can visit. And by clicking on view in your space, you can see this is the entire digital version of the NFT that we created. This is the comparison with the original object and the AR of it, as you can see in the NFT. I can move it around. I can rotate the object. I can interact with it as if it's in front of me, yeah, as if it's a real object. And I can zoom into as much as possible to a really huge detail. I'll just quickly show you the same thing on the desktop. So this is the NFT marketplace link that we created on OpenSea. The listing is on OpenSea. Mm, Okay, it's taking a little while to load. I think we can come back to it after the few slides. So I want to pay some attention to the details of what we created. It's really vibrant colors. So you can see the red and green really stand out. And it also captures the imperfections, like the object that we had. You could see there is a break in the leg, and we're able to capture that. And it's really high quality of even the jute. And this is not possible to model to create a digital artwork. It's on a 4G speed. It opens up in less than 4 seconds. So this is the 3D model, and this is the NFT listing. You could see the listing, and you can interact with it and zoom in with as much detail as possible. Uh, Now we'll quickly go through how we actually created the NFTs. So on a high level, we first create a digital version of the object by capturing the detail, and then we optimize it for the web and deploy it. To be able to capture this, we use something called as Aws Mqtt. So it requires 300 or so images, and it compares these images to create feature matching between the images, and it creates a dense point cloud of the images, which it reconstructs the mesh. But to be able to take 300 images, we have to have some automated way. So we used an Arduino-based turntable for that, and it automatically rotates the model and takes an image, rotates the model and takes an image. It keeps repeating this around 60 to 80 times for each of the rotation. We use 3 to 4 times of it, and we get the 300 images without much effort. So by the end of this, we have a high quality 3D model of the object. It's around 2 million points. So we reduce it to around 30,000 points. You can see the left and right. So the left one is non-reduced one, and the right one is the reduced one. There is, unless you look very closely here, so you cannot really see much of the difference in the detail for especially for web applications. And we also work on improving the material texture of the object. So the right one is what we modified. You can see the shininess of the wood, and it captures the finish of the wood, where we don't get originally from just seeing it as a 2D version. Then we also make sure to resize it so that the AR version is closely resembles the original product that we have. And we have to jump it through hoops to make it work for iOS, like making a USDZ file. And we use Model Viewer for the AR that you previously saw. Coming to the technical architecture, we used AWS Amplify, which simplified most of our deployment process. I just do Amplify Publish, and it publishes both the front end to S3 and the Express Lambda function to the backend. And we have a custom subdomain. We use Route 53 to the web front. And the NFT we minted on Polygon, Matic on ETH. And we minted 10 items and kept 3 of them for sale at 0.03 ETH each. And we made the wallet with MetaMask. To briefly summarize the entire process, it takes us roughly 1.5 to 2 hours, where majority of the time takes in taking the photos, which is automated, and stitching the image, which we can later optimize with cloud processing. So we had a few issues with creating this model. So the two main issues were the camera lighting, and the second is the heating problem. So we initially tried 3D printing the enclosure for the turntable, but we ran into issues with the heating. So we had to do heat sinks, fan, and other improvements, like using laser cutting for the acrylic. The future possibilities where I see mostly is in historic restoration and artifacts. And to keep it briefly, we made more than one NFT. This is a list of around 6 to 7 NFT that took us around 1 day to make. So my personal favorite is this one. That it's under 4 MB, and you can see the real shininess of the gold here. I think. This is just the reference sources that we used, and this is the link to the presentation that I showed just now.
Thank you, Deep. We'll open it for Q&A.
Okay, so this is Gopal. Let me go first. So Deep, thanks for the very nice presentation. So it looks like you made images for these items which can be deployed on the web, right?
No, it's a 3D model.
3D model, correct.
Yes.
But what is that non-fungible token portion where you use blockchain, etc., to to create a set of records? Was that solution taken to that extent? Do you use any blockchain technology?
The process that we followed for creating, we use the same available OpenSea marketplace. OpenSea is the platform that already takes care of keeping it on the blockchain. Similarly, Instagram is right now coming up with ways of keeping it on the blockchain. Our improvement was to improve the quality of what is kept on the blockchain. So letting the Indian artists improve the product that they keep on the blockchain beyond just images. So that was the scope of our project. For keeping it actually on the as an NFT, we use already available technologies.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, Deep, Bimlesh here. Thank you so much. This is a very interesting implementation of taking a real art object, making it more enriching, the digital form. Really like the use case that you're trying to solve. So two questions here. How do you plan to scale this? Because this is very time consuming activity and a location specific activity, along with the hardware constraints. Second question is, usually NFT is for, is to have it in limited supply, or is to avoid, duplication parts of it. So now that this is associated with a real object, how do you plan to, manage the recreation of the physical object in multiple versions of it? So these were my two questions.
Okay, so coming to the first question, so we actually looked into how we can improve and reduce the time that we take. We were able to measure the time it takes for each of the steps. And like I mentioned before, so some of the major improvements that this reduces around 30 to 40 minutes of what it takes us right now. And the other thing is automatically making markers for automatically using available markers for AR scale. And there are also some, we can use the scripting for automatically moving the images, stitching them, and moving them across one application to another.
But
So
this hardware and software will have to be there with every artist?
No. So we are going to provide it to them as a service. We don't actually expect them to be able to technically create a really good version. That is our expertise. So we will provide it as a service to them.
Got it.
So this hardware is a little niche, and that is one of the things that prevents other. It is an initial gatekeeping factor that prevents others from competing with us quickly. So, and the second thing about what makes it unique is, I think the fact that it's linked with the physical object, I think actually makes it unique. Because most of the NFTs that you see right now are digitally created ones, where somebody just right clicks, save an image, and upload it again. But that's not possible with this. So even if you get a 3D model, first, not many people know how to download 3D model, and platforms like Instagram are not web-based, so it's difficult to just take a screenshot and just post it. So you need to have the original 3D model with you.
13-year-old becomes millionaire by selling NFT art. The Australian owner who turned $300 into $5 million by selling NFTs. 13-year-old girl becomes millionaire by selling dinosaur NFTs. And many more. Lots of NFTs everywhere. My question is, if this can cost $300, then why not this? And if she can become a millionaire at a 13-year-old age, then why can't people like her, who has spent half of her life in creating thousands of tremendous arts like these? On researching the market, there are three main reasons I found for such a huge gap between the Indian digital art ecosystem and the foreign digital art ecosystem. The lack of knowledge in the artists who can leverage this technology as their asset. The absence of structured NFT marketplace for Indian arts ecosystem, or broadly speaking, for any other ecosystem as well. When the world is heading toward techs like metaverse, we are missing an immersive by experiencing. And because of this, we are not having not so good numbers. The revenue and engagement index from the NFT sector gives us not a very good image. As we can see, there's a very large difference between the Indian digital art ecosystem when it comes to revenue, and same goes for the foreign art ecosystem. For this, we need a solution that can change this scenario in the coming years like this. To tackle this problem, I would proudly present Chitrkala. Now, what is Chitrkala? Chitrkala is an NFT marketplace metaverse. It gives an immersive experience to both buyers and sellers. When it comes to sellers, I'm talking about artists. It is worth their investment when it comes to their time, their skill, and their money. It gives artists the digital recognition they need by placing their NFTs in a virtual art gallery. When it comes to buyers like these or appreciators of art, it gives us an amazing opportunity to explore these things as we would do in a real life. This metaverse is a breakthrough for this problem. We'll see it in the demo, how this solves the problem. Moving further, let me show you the architecture. Our project is backed by AWS services. Coming to the metaverse part first, we have used Amazon Sumerian along with the spatial technology to host the metaverse. Coming to the blockchain part, I have used AWS managed blockchain for completing the NFT transactions, connecting with the crypto wallet. We have used Amazon S3 bucket for storing the NFT metadata, and all the blockchain has been maintained with the AWS Lambda function. Moving on with the tech stack, we have used Amazon blockchain, the MetaMask as a crypto wallet for this prototype, React.js for developing the front end, and as I mentioned, Amazon Sumerian for developing the 3D metaverse. Now, I would like to show you guys my recorded demo for this. Judges, this is Chitrkala. Chitrkala is a UI which gives you all the functionalities of a real marketplace when it comes to the digital art. We have a UI section which will display the trending NFTs on the basis of the number of views which they are getting. As you can see, this is a registered NFT with the price listed over here. Moving further, we have the product catalogs. Right now for the prototype version, we have 5 NFTs listed over here. These are the digital arts. As you can see, you can shop them on the basis of their categories. You have Madhubani painting, the Pithoda painting, the Worldly art, and many more like this. Coming to this blog section, this is the blog part. This is where we will engage our audience. We will tell the stories of our artists. We will tell them how our artists work, their life skill, and other things, which will tell people what it takes to be a real artist, their challenges, and everything. Moving further, let me take you to the shopping part. How will you explore the NFTs? And later on, we will come to the metaverse part. As you can see, this is like a catalog where you can buy NFTs. You can filter. There are many filters. As you can see, there are from price ranges, their listing method. You can buy an NFT. I'll show you in the example how we can buy an NFT. This is the famous Worldly art by the famous painter Jivya Soma Mashes. As you can see, this is the proper NFT page. We'll see all the details. As you can see, this is a registered NFT. You can see the contract address. You can see the token ID. All this is backed by AWS Lambda function. As you can see, I have already connected my crypto wallet, MetaMask, and I can approve my currency over here. I can proceed towards the payment. Right now, I'm not having any money in my crypto wallet. That's why the payment is not taking place, but this is how the checkout will look like. Moving further, let me show you the admin page. Moving further, let me show you the admin page from where you can mint your own NFTs. From this page, you can generate your own NFTs. In this drag and drop folder, you can upload your digital arts in their utmost best quality. You can preview it over here. Right now, we have on the Polygon network, we have this type of 1155 category for the NFTs. You can describe the royalties. Let me just go back. You can give the description. From here, you can place a sell order. You can already, you don't need another marketplace for selling your NFTs. You can sell it over here on the blockchain. We have the instant sale method. You can put your NFTs on the timed auction as well. You can sell it on the best bid. You can select the NFT, the quantity, the unit price, and whatnot. You can put on sale from over here. Because of time constraints, I'm directly jumping to the metaverse part, connecting to the virtual world. Judges, I proudly present to you Chitkala NFT Gallery, a metaverse for the digital artist. Judges, this is Chitkala Metaverse. As you can see, this is a 3D metaverse, a pure ambience of an art gallery that you will get in the real world.
So again, the question is, how far you are. You have got certain artists. The demo that you're doing is demo, or you have some of the artists that have been onboarded and you are able to, kind of test the initial bit that you're demonstrating right now?
So right now it is still in the development phase. We are yet to connect with the local artists.
Okay. And the second question is, the metaverse, will it be mimicking the real Chitrakala? Let's say if I'm going to be putting it in a space, are you going to be more of a solution that can be, taken by another Chitrakala, or are you going to be the destination where you're saying, hey, you come to Chitrakala, this is my metaverse?
Yes, yes, yeah. The second part you like, it is my own metaverse. You can host your NFTs over here. People can host their charity events, charity art galleries, and whatnot. You can interact with people in NFTs, in metaverse.
Got it. So, so that is one. And then what will make it very unique that somebody else comes up with a similar concept? What will you say that, hey, this is how I will stay unique and relevant in the shorter time frame? I'm not talking about the longer time frame.
Okay. Sure. In a shorter time frame, unfortunately, I couldn't show you, but if you can see my screen, yeah, as you can see, this is one of the features that I like. You can interact with the people. As you can see, I can wave my hand, and with the unmute, and there's a chat button in the top, in the bottom left corner. So this is one of the features which is, I guess, quite sophisticated for a metaverse. It will give you, suppose there's an artist, you can directly interact with the artist, right?
Sure.
Yeah, you can directly take the transactions from the metaverse itself. You don't need any other website or any other wallet to integrate. In the metaverse, everything is there.
Got it. Yeah, I think those are two my questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Santosh.
Thanks, Santosh.
Hi, this is Anand. You talked a lot about there being a vacant opportunity because the Indian artists have not gotten a way to reach the market. What are you doing specifically here which is different, or solving anything around the artists for them to reach out? Like this is I understand and appreciate the NFT bit of it. I understand the metaverse bit of it. Metaverse is probably a layer to understand the marketplace or look at the experience the marketplace differently. But what are you solving for the artists that makes it easier for them to or the access to the market and all? Like, can you just touch upon that a little bit?
Of course. So suppose, let's say there's a community of artists in an X region. We as a distributor, we can act as a distributor of their arts. Right now, they sell their arts at local shops, and they have the accessibility is very less, right? So what we can do is we can advertise this platform. We can gather the crowd from the foreign as well, right? We can upload their arts as the NFTs over this platform directly with the artist. No middleware, no distributors, no physical places. Directly interact with the artist. Whatever the transactions will come, we will take certain amount of commissions, and then we will directly give all the transaction money to the artist as well.
And why is it not happening in the current world? What are you doing differently from the current world to do it?
Yes, currently there is no such dedicated marketplace for NFTs, especially for the Indian arts. right? And second thing is the kind of experience a buyer will get in the metaverse, right? You can connect with the artists. If we get influencers on this kind of platform, imagine the kind of engagement we would get once, let's say, a famous influencer just once visits on Insta Live, like shares about this platform, we'll gather the crowd. Obviously, they are going to love the interactions with the artists. And yes, so that is my take on that.
Got it. Thanks. Thank you so much.
Hello everyone, I am Mqtt from Team IoT Habit Labs. So people, I want to discuss you about one important problem today. So as you know, maybe you can think of a queue. So if you remember, whenever last you visit maybe a clinic, or maybe you want to pay some bill, then maybe you can see a long queue and people which are frustrated in the queue. So I want to discuss one important problem around the queue. So even in pandemic, government want to have physical distance. Apart like having that also, when we go for the vaccine, there are long queues. So a research happened which come to the conclusion that 75% of customer will get lost for any business if they have queues more than 14 minutes. Okay. Apart from that, there is like lot of online marketing happening, and people will tend to get things like food and everything online because they don't need to get into a queue. So queue is a biggest problem. If we think about the demonetization, more than 100 people died just standing in ATM queues because there are long queues. So thinking about this problem, I want to think about one situation. There is a person who is ill and he want to go to a clinic. He went to clinic and there is long queue outside the clinic. He is already ill. Nowadays the temperature is very warm. Just imagine the situation. Like he need to stand outside the clinic for half an hour. He's already ill. Like it will multiply his problem. Okay. So we need to solve this problem. To solve this problem, we come up with a device. We call it queue management device. So what this device can do, it is a very sleek, very small integrated solution which runs on an AWS platform. We can scale it to any number of SaaS-based solution. And with this device, it's a I will present a demo in the later stage. So once you have this device, you can integrate it with a mobile web application. Your customer will come to your shop, your maybe restaurant, your hospital. There can be a QR code. They can scan QR code, or remotely they can even join your queue. They will get a notification whenever there is their turn. To manage that, there may be some bulky boards, but they are not efficient enough. We are talking about a very cost-effective IoT device, which is very easy to use, which is very small, which anyone can afford. We can have like artificial intelligence behind that to calculate how much estimated waiting time there will be. So that time can be used predictively to do some other work. Like exactly in half an hour I have to go there. You will get an alarm 5 minutes before. Like you can enjoy that time. You don't need to get frustrated in a queue, in a physical queue. So it will be a completely virtual queue. Apart from that, like the solution which we are proposing is completely integrated, and we can integrate it with any existing solution. They not to reinvent anything. Let's say they already having a ERP, it can be integrated with the ERP. So let me show you a quick demo about this. So here you can see we have a mobile application or web application where we can see what exactly estimated time is there. I can postpone. Let's say if somehow I am not able to visit, I can have a button where I can say I want to re-enroll to the queue, and it is completely virtually managed. So let me give you a product overview. This device consists of two things only, a push button and a display screen. So there may be a question like, why not a mobile app? Like I don't want to busy my mobile for doing a single functionality, and I want to come up with a very small device which is easy to use, and it do exactly what it need to be do. And rest all the things can be managed from the customer's device itself. So customer device can get the push notification, like they don't need to install any application. It's a web application. There will be a URL or QR code. They can scan, they can enroll to the queue. And from the queue manager side, that is a small device. They just need to press a button whenever they want to call next person. They can see like the current queue number. Maybe we can show the name also on the device itself. And that way, like the whole scenario, if you think, it can be really managed virtually. So I want to put one more point about before discussing the technical part. That is the, what kind of benefit we can get from this device. So in background, like we can do the analytics, like how much waiting time is there for every, let's talk about a restaurant. There are different, serving person. We can have some analytics, how much time every person is taking. There can be some competition. We can get a lot of insight. If you think about the insight, once we have the data, there can be a lot of analytics. So talking about, the technology which we have used, it's an IoT device, and we are using MQTT protocol to get the data. We are using AWS Lambda. We are using AWS DynamoDB. DynamoDB is well known for scaling to n number of, system. We are using AWS IoT Core for managing the IoT communication. We are using AWS machine learning. Machine learning is responsible for getting insight, like how much estimation we need to give to any customer. So machine learning is really powerful, which can give too much accurate time to any customer. Talking about the device circuit, like we are using ESP32 microcontroller, which is connected to a button and a screen. And we are running our own firmware program here, which is in, again, MicroPython. Talking about the AWS infrastructure, as I mentioned, we are using AWS IoT Core, which is directly communicating to ESP32. We are using AWS Lambda function, which again can directly communicate with the web application. We are using AWS Anti and Access Management and DynamoDB and Cognito to make the web application very fast, secure, and reliable. So here I want to show you some screenshots of what we did with the AWS. Let me just quickly go through it. But we have to set up a device. So we are using AWS IoT Core. So AWS IoT Core we are using here. Now when we push button, application number with time interval is published to. So we created a queue which is subscribed to MQTT. Scan QR code is credentials stored in DynamoDB database. So every scan gets stored on a different queue number. So I want to talk about the cost benefit of this analysis. As I mentioned earlier, like a lot of people don't want to go to a shop if there is long queue. So there is like a lot of losses happening to middle and small scale businesses due to queue. Even if we talk about in numbers, like 25% of this can be improved if we can have better efficient system for managing the queue. So talking about the cost of the device which I have shown you can cost around 2,000 rupees only.
I have a question here. Did you interview any target customers? Did you speak to some of them on on the keenness to solve this problem, and then on their willingness to pay for such a solution in the healthcare or in the restaurant space?
Right. So in healthcare, I talk to the clinics. Okay, I don't want to target really big hospitals. Like in my neighborhood, actually, this like how I get that idea. I went to a clinic and there was really a long queue, and I also get frustrated. Maybe you can think of that situation once you have to. I talked to that doctor. Like I am thinking about that kind of device. Do you want to use that? So he said yes. So I given them one demo, like and they are still using it, and he's very happy. So now we want to extend that, but like our initial target will be medium and small scale businesses only, like clinics or maybe small restaurant. There also you can see a lot of queue. If there is a good even you can think of 30. There also you can find a lot of people surrounding.
So my second question is, from a vision point of view, you plan to keep this always as a queue management solution, or you plan to keep this as a queue plus a CRM type of a solution?
No, we want to keep it queue only, and we want to keep it open. Any other platform can integrate with it. Like we don't want to build everything. There are already a lot of CRM and good ERP solution are there. So we want to just integrate with that. Like we will give open APIs, so it can be easily integrated with the help of webhooks to any solution.
Got it. Thank you.
Thank you, Bimlesh. Aravind, do you have any questions?
So these restaurants are already doing this online ordering, right? So nobody goes to restaurant or waiting there as we used to do before. And the other cases, the healthcare thing, but even there, you can make an order on the phone and get your token number and sort of calculate and go at that time, right? And in India, and especially in some small clinics, people can overrun the queue, and there could be some emergency case or something. So in those cases, how are you going to handle all these?
So there can be an admin panel. Queue can be override, and everyone can get that notification. So like there will be admin panel for everyone, like they can easily manage that thing from option. So it's flexible from both end. Let's say I enroll for the queue remotely. I'm at home. Somehow I got some another work. I am unable to go to that particular time slot. So I can push a button like I will be late. So I can get another queue number. And same way, let's say there is an emergency and they want to push people. So they can enter. They can just enter another patient, and the queue will be get extended. And the best thing is it's transparent, like everyone is seeing the transparency, like what's the queue number I am currently in, when I will get the response. And with the AI, like we can once we will have lot of data, we can accurately estimate like how much time it's gonna take.
Okay. And did you calculate anything with the latency of the data transfer from the devices to cloud and back?
It's using MQTT, so it's almost real time with MQTT. It's very lightweight, like as soon as we press, like it's going on the cloud, and it's connected to like either Wi-Fi or 4G network.
Okay.
So,
Gopal?
yeah, thank you for that. So, Ankit, can you quickly tell me the flow? I didn't understand. So, if I go to a clinic, right, can I use my mobile phone? Will I be given a device? Tell me a flow quickly in 30 seconds. How will it work for a normal person?
So normal person will go to a clinic, he will see a QR code, he scan that QR code, he will get a small form where he need to fill just phone number and name, he get enrolled to the queue. So doctor having that device, only doctor having the device, not the patient. Doctor can, once he press the button, he will push a notification to all the patient, like what's the current queue number and how much time it will take for you. So you get a 30-minute window, like it's gonna take 30 minutes. You can do something else in that 30 minutes.
Okay. Okay. I think want to make it simple enough for everybody who may not be tech savvy also to be using this. Because in clinic, a lot of people, they may be poor, may not be tech savvy, etc. So that is why I asked the question. Cool.
Yeah. So yeah, later on maybe there can be a console also on clinic as well. So it can be registered from the console.
Okay, that's all I had.
Thank you, Gopal. Is there any question from the jury members? Any other questions? Okay, then thank you, Ankit.
Thank you.
Presentation. Jury members, you can give scores to Happy Labs while we move on to the next team. The next team is Team Rainbow. Team Rainbow, are you ready?
Yes, yes.
Please start.
Bad internet, not sharing my video. Sharing my screen. Yeah, I think I should be able to see my screen right now.
Yes.
Yeah, cool.
Please go ahead.
Yeah. So we are building offline and mobile first neobank for the underserved population of India, which is around 50 crore population by Team Rainbow on Team Financial Inclusion. Problem, there is no access to modern banking solution. Lenders are predatory, which is unsafe. There is no trust between person to person because no guarantor exists. Why does it matter? This population is take averse. Not necessarily they are tech savvy, but they are also tech averse population. Usually the remote village locations, security matters to them, loyalty matters to them. They want something which they can be loyal to, and they want user experience which is risk free. The challenges, 4 major challenges we worked upon: no smartphone, no QR code, and every transactions must be digitally signed. Every parties in a transaction need to verify each other, and system must work offline. Solution we built was a human ATM network where each transaction is digitally signed and everything works on SMS. 2 major verticals on the product we built. On the banking side, starting from registering a new account to sending agents to collect cash from them, to checking their account balances, and getting access to a human ATM network by to deposit or withdraw cash. Bird's eye view. Let's say you need 10,000 cash. You just send an SMS request. We find you a nearest human ATM, send you a phone number and location. You go to the ATM and you do a OTP verification and transaction gets done. Works very simple in a traditional fashion. Here is the phone number. You can test it out. All you need to do is register yourself as an account holder. You register by sending your PAN name and location. Then you can go ahead and deposit cash if you want, or you can withdraw cash. For every transaction, there are 2 parties involved. We send OTP to the less risky party and send the signature to the more riskier party. Then more riskier party sends the signature and the OTP back to us and we confirm the transaction. We have 10 interaction modes starting from registering to finding ATM to deposit and withdraw. We can take this offline. This is the core sauce, like secret sauce of our product. There are two parties involved in every transaction. First party sends an SMS with a payload that contains the order ID, usually what product you are transacting with, what amount and what user ID. But the second party's phone number. Server generates an OTP and appends to the payload. It then generates a signature. Signature is sent as an SMS to the first party. OTP is sent to the second party, and the second party presents the OTP to the first party. First party sends an SMS to us to verify if the combination of signature and the OTP is correct. If he gets a response back as valid, then he completes the transaction by handing over the cash if it was a deposit, or taking the cash from the second party if it was a withdrawal. Very simple infrastructure. We depend upon AWS a lot. Scalable, resilient, because we depend up entirely, it is serverless, serverless as well as stateless. I'll walk you through the like architecture. User sends SMS to through a feature phone. SMS goes to a CPaaS, communications provider. Then it goes through a API gateway to a event sync, which is on Lambda. Then it goes through a FIFO queue to a worker, which is inside a private subnet. Then worker saves in DB and also caches if it requires. Then it sends back to another FIFO queue, which then is listened by a Lambda, which is a SMS sender, who sends SMS. Unit economics wise, on the product side, a variable cost, every per transaction cost comes around to 0.1013 rupees, considering service obtainable market of 5 crore customers. Business model, liquidity expected is 5,000 crores, assuming 1,000 rupees at least is deposited by each of these 5 crore customers. Without any listing license, we take an asset under management of 2,500 crore, provide PMS service, expecting a 12% return. 10% is shared with the customer, and 2% is our earning, which is 5.6 crores. With an NFTs license, we take a loan book of 1,200 CR, earn 12% interest, our earning becomes 300 CR. Impact wise, we can enable partial payments for vendors, for anyone cash collection purposes. This leads to buyer retention. This entire thing also enables the banks to work to use this data as a solid indicator for underwriting loans. This entire process is self-validating. Each party can validate each other. This leads to a great offline experience. Since there is less shallow learning curve, nothing to learn, no tick to interact with, this reduces error rates to 0%. Nationwide impact, 50 crore customers will instantly get access to modern banking solutions. This would massively boost up our GDP to 16%. Thank you. For demo, I'll just walk you through the video. We can do a real demo. Since the real demo is dependent on the network carrier speed, so we'll put it to offline. If we want, we can get together. I'll walk you through a video that will show you the entire process. There is an audio in case it is not available. I'm assuming, please bear with it. Yeah. We're done. Open to questions.
Thank you, Abhishek. So we'll start with Gopal. Gopal, do you have any questions? Abhishek?
Yes, so if you look at this app, right, so you said it will serve the underserved or the underbanked population. Can you tell me what are the main advantages or distinctions using this versus normal bank? So I heard some of them like convenience. So how do you register a person? I didn't know that process. You just said register an account instantly. How do you do that?
Got it. Let me share my screen once again. Well, here's the entire algorithm. We'll walk you through this entire thing. So customers interact with our product using this commands which they send to us through SMS. So registering is simple. We are a new bank at the end. We are not a bank. We will be operating on top of a bank. We'll be consuming banks underlying APIs. So registering is essentially sending a PAN and name to us. We register a bank. We register account on our systems, and we then send our agent offline to them, who are then going to do the KYC for them. KYC is necessary as per Indian laws. That will happen. It's just that we are just a layer who are enabling this entire banking workflows and entire ATM workflows for them.
Okay. No, I got that.
Yes.
But how is it different from a normal bank? So once I register an account with the bank, I can do a lot of these through the mobile banking app too, right?
Yes, you can. Underserved do have mobile phones, smartphones sometimes, but they are risk averse. The operating a SBI Yono bank doesn't look like risk free. Compare that to operating a Jupiter app or operating a 5 Monies app. There is a hell and heaven difference between these apps. So this underserved population, they are very risk averse. They are very tech averse also. So we are taking away the equation of understanding this terminology, understanding this banking system altogether, and be in control. They want to be in control of the transaction. That is what we enable them to do.
Okay.
Did that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Gopal. I see Santosh has a question.
Yeah, Gopal. So while it looks a good, easy way to get in, how secure it is going to be? Because with
Got it.
apps, you have at least a layer of, at least even in UPI app, you have 2 layers, and in some cases 3 layers.
Understood. Let me answer that question. I was thinking of creating a FAQ. There are a lot of FAQs on this. So this is something I'll highlight. I think screen is shared. Now a person can take a deposit. A human ATM can actually take a deposit up to the available balance in his or her account. And once the deposit is received, we deduct the equivalent balance from the human ATM's account and we credit it to the person who deposited.
That I got it.
But also related question could be, why would someone be willing to use their floating cash as an ATM?
No, that's not the case. Because in a mobile app or a banking app or a UPI app, when I'm interacting, if that app is left, mobile is left, anybody else gets access to, cannot just bypass without getting through my OTP, my secure ID and all. But
we are entirely operating on OTPs only. So this is the thing that actually secures and digitally signs even if everything is offline. Just walk through it. I will share you everything, all the PPTs and everything offline. You can walk through it and hit me with questions.
Sure.
Tested this with real village people. They found it comfortable using it. Although we could not scale and although we could not launch it because of restriction on our setup. Because I said I use a PAS, I actually don't use a pass. So I set it up using an Android phone which is connected to internet and installed with IFT and push bullet. So SMS comes, if get triggers because it receives a SMS using a keyword rain. Then the trigger reads the SMS content and it posts to a webhook which is already hosted on AWS. And the webhook calls push bullet to send an SMS.
Technical part I got it, but how will you, who are the other players in this? How do you compare it in a top line?
Ideally government should be a competition right now, but they are not, which is a very sad thing.
But what are the other neobank apps?
Aravind could be one. They are probably building a neobank app. I heard. Not very sure. None of the existing startups are catering to this population right now?
All right, thank you. That's my question.
Like today we're going to talk about a very special person. Her name is Roshni, and she's on her journey to making. She's on a mission to making the joy of learning Smbhav for a billion lives. So we are taking Roshni's persona here. Roshni, this is in the year 2006, and Roshni is in her class 6. She's heard about something called career assessment, and she would want to take it. She's really excited, and she goes home. But the sad part of Roshni's life is that the cost of the career assessment is about 6,000, and and this is something it's not possible for her. So for now, it's just a dream, and she's looking for some bhavna for it. So what she doesn't want to acknowledge is she's majority of India, and a lot of people in India are not able to afford such kind of services. 1 in 6 children, according to the World Bank, lives in extreme poverty. So, what is the main problem that we're trying to solve? First of all, here after the COVID hit, right, there has been a lot of digital penetration. That is one, which is an advantage. The other thing is there is a lack of awareness. That all the parents might not be aware, and they feel that it's too expensive.
Have you shared your screen? We are unable to see this.
Oh, I'm really sorry. So this is Roshni. Roshni is in her, this is the year 2006, and Roshni is in her class 6. So she's basically trying to she wanted to do a career assessment, and sadly, because she couldn't afford it, it is still a dream for her. So it's still a sambhavna, is what I would call it. So this is the story across India, right? Most of the people are not able to afford such a thing. So again, 1 in 6 children in the world lives in extreme poverty. So the main problem, right? After the COVID hit, there has been a lot of digital penetration. There's a lack of awareness from the parents as well as they feel it's too expensive. Other thing is like the children are losing interest in studies, so they want to do what they like. And the solutions that exist out there, personalized services, are pretty expensive. So what are we solving for? We're basically solving for accessibility, convenience, and cost effectiveness. All of this, we want to do it either via Alexa devices or a smartphone, or even go to an extent of having an IVR. Convenience, you can take it. You can take a career counseling test over a phone. That's what we aim to do, and we want to make it cost effective. So how did it all started? It started in 2006 because Roshni couldn't afford a counseling session. The Iron Man movies that brought us Jarvis and inspired a whole generation. The next services, COVID changing the education system for good, and then we have our hackathon today. So how is this all brought together? So this is there's themes called Holland themes, which career counselors use to basically define personas. So the question in the future would not be are you intelligent, but how you are intelligent. What are the things that give you an edge? So the proof of the pudding is in my own assessment, right? So I ended up taking my own assessment, and this is what it ended up with. It's a realistic, social, and artistic person. If I go back, right, and if I take the hexagon and think of my own life, I do a lot of hacks. I run a lot of hackathons. I work in the social sector in my free time, and I feel I am one of those people who can build things, right? So it really adds up in my case. So what would be the outcome? The outcome would be what are your interests, what personality types what careers you can take up, and what career complements your personality. So what is out there? So there are a lot of tests that can be taken like this, right? So there are a lot of websites that do it for free. And how are we doing it differently? With Amazon Alexa services, it's as easy as an Alexa skill. So what we're going to demo today is basically an Alexa skill that can do a career counseling at scale. So introducing Virtual Roshni. By 2025, 130 million Echo devices across the world, and career counseling is just going to be it's going to be Smbhav over a call. So let me just do a quick demo. I'm just refreshing.
Alrighty. First question, coming right up. Do you like spending time socializing with others? 100%. Do you enjoy sunbathing? You surprise me. Do you enjoy reading a good book more than going out to a party? Yes, of course. Do you like doing sports? Very insightful. Do you prefer vacationing in the forest instead of on the beach? Just as I suspected. You are a helper. People know they can come to you for comfort, but if you get too hot, look out. Do you want to play again?
So that was my quick demo. So this is how career counseling Smbhav hai. And the underprivileged as well as the differently abled people, right? They have always had this problem in India where they cannot even think of such a thing. So Hanmantappa, who actually is in one of the NGOs that I've held, can take up a career counseling over a phone call. So this is the future roadmap. We want to basically disrupt the career counseling scene in India, bring in the best, and basically do it for a billion people. And one of the working backwards, right? That was one of the things that we learned during the hackathon. And the entire story that I told you was actually my story. This is my late father who worked as a welder at Bemel. And then this is my son who's named after my father. He was actually watching the whole build, right? He's really interested in Alexa and stuff. So the overall, when this came, right, this actually brought me back to this circle. So this was one of those things that I wanted to share it with you guys. That was a quick one. Thanks a lot. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you, Mukram. So we'll start with Arvind. Arvind, your questions first.
What is the business impact that you're going to bring with
Arvind, your voice is low.
Yeah, you sorry.
Yeah, hi. Can you hear me better now?
Yes.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah. So with this solution, I understand that you're going to bring career counseling to a lot of, not so privileged kids. But what is the business point of view of your things? It's entirely like a social service, or is there like a what is the interest that you want to get to the businesses, to the small and medium businesses?
So see, the thing is, it's not just about career counseling for kids, right? Anywhere out there, right? You want to basically, even if you want to do an NFT, we'll need to know what are your strong points, right? Even if you want, if I want to make a switch today, I need to know, I need to have a path. What are my interests and where can I point it to? Like if I want to change my domain altogether, I'll have to take up something like this. This is like a pointing star saying that okay, your interests are in NGOs, in working with people, solving big problems in India. This is just a starting point, right? So this is more of a it's a way to go ahead. So and whatever I built, right, it's just solving my own problem. It took me 16 years to solve it. So the whole idea of doing this is just to solve a problem that I had 16 years back, bringing it with Alexa and how it can be solved in a modern day environment.
Okay.
Thank you, Arvind. I will move to Gopal.
Yeah, quickly, if you can tell me, because I didn't, again, going back to the same thing, describe to me in 30 seconds the full flow, how it works. Say, for example, a person wants to have career counseling. Is it a mobile app? And once they use it, what is the flow? What is the technology? What is the architecture behind it?
Sorry, I think the demo was also on an Alexa console, right? You can take up many of the Alexa speakers and do this. This is just an Alexa skill deployed, right? At the end of the day, it's a set of questions that you're asking. So it can be a phone, it can be any of the million Alexa devices. You're just not restricted to an app, right? So that is what even makes it even easier for IVRs. So on an IVR also, based on an yes or no, you can actually finish up a career counseling session. But then at the end, you'll need a report, right? For that, you need an email. So you can actually get a report to your email.
But I thought this was for economically underprivileged kids, right?
Right. Yeah. So how much is an Alexa device in a sale? It's 1,500 rupees. And once you set it up, you can do multiple tests. For an entire school, you can do with one or two devices, right? And they're even embedded into any of the speakers or anything. If you ask me, I would do it on a Alexa speaker any day.
And what is powering this thing? Is it connecting to another career counselor, or is it using an inbuilt AI model or something like that?
So currently, what we have done is so that's why that is why the tricky part is understanding this, right? So there is already something called as Holland's occupational themes that is there all the way from 1958. So this is something similar that career counselors use already to basically put people into different types of buckets, right? So again, you're bucketing people into different types, and based on that, you're coming up with your interest and stuff. So, like all the machine learning and stuff, it's already handled in Alexa, if you ask me. So, based on the questions, you can do a lot of analytics, and that is one of the parts, right? But see, the analytics part over here basically makes it very easy for me to figure out how many went through, how many went wrong, what are the things I need to change, and that is something I think is very useful. That acts as my what do you call feedback. So, if you come back here, right, we're talking about. All the images go here, the quiz goes as a lambda function. The analytics is my feedback loop. So this is again used for the training part. Hope I answered your question.
Yeah, thank you.
So hi everyone, thank you AWS and Skillenza for this opportunity to present our solution at Amazon Smbhav Season 2. I'm Smriti Chaudhary and will be presenting today from our team. Now, contract management is a broken process and a bad user experience for most. Looking a bit deeper, contract creation is a tedious, time-consuming process, involves high cost of legal engagements. It makes it making it very difficult for SMBs to get contracts done properly. Next, the signatories validation and the KYC is done offline, resulting in days and weeks of delays. The existing e-signature solutions are inadequate to handle business approval workflows. And finally, once these documents are generated, they're static, isolated, and they provide no intelligence or analytical insights. Now, we have built Contractor with a focus to solve these pain points and create value for the Indian SMB community. We simplify contact authoring via legally vetted templates and the option to generate contracts on the go with a few clicks. For customizations, we can service this via the marketplace with our M-panel legal service providers. Next, we have integrated the KYC process for both individual and business entities, which helps to save 7 to 10 days of time. Now, on the document execution, we have options to capture email, mobile, Aadhaar, DSC, DSC-based signatures, delegation of signing authority, which are very relevant in the Indian context. Finally, this all comes together via our dashboard and analytics with alerts, reminders, and ability to generate invoices and collect payments under the contracts. Now, to summarize, Contractor is a contracts authoring, execution, and obligation management solution. It is built in a modular architecture where we can easily recombine various modules and deploy the solution as per client's needs. Now, this was possible using various AWS services such as EC2 and Lambda for compute and DynamoDB and S3 buckets for data storage. We use TextRack to extract the data from documents and build intelligence, and also looking to evaluate SageMaker to automate contract generation. Now, in addition, these are various other solutions such as SES for customer notifications and also use of Certificate Manager. Route 5.3 and API Gateway for API services. Now, a key component of Contractor is to build trust. And we look at Amazon QLDB to provide proof and immutability of contracts and transactional data. I would like to show a quick demo and a preview of our application here. We go to our rich feature dashboard, which has all the information about the user account, the key actions and the reminders, and also various shortcuts. Now, next is the Vault, which is a repository of all document transactions. Transfers contain records of all the financial transactions and payments made from the account. It is also possible to download this account statement in Excel for use with other CMS or ERP. Now, Contacts is like a mini CRM which allows to manage all the contacts. It may be individual as well as business, and also it provides detailed drill down on contract and financial transactions on a per account basis. For collaboration, there is an inbuilt chat feature and a solutions marketplace where users can create requests for legal service, HR, financial and other professional service assistance. Finally, it also provides a resource section with help content, and there is an option to submit feedback and create support tickets. Now we have submitted this video with a demo on individual functionality. In terms of market, this is a $1 billion USD plus market, and with AWS and modular architecture, we can also think of going into the international markets. To conclude, we have a unique value proposition where using serverless technologies, we can also customize contract execution at individual document levels. So overall, we have various touch points with the customer to provide an end-to-end contract and obligations management solution. Our team includes myself, I'm the lead, and Satya Prakash, who is the technical lead. He's also a full stack developer. So I would like to say that contracts are needed everywhere and across various industries. We are keen to build this solution further, and I would like to say that it is Smbhav with AWS.
Thank you, Smriti. Gopal, we'll start with you.
Right. 1 second, I'm just thinking through the process. So how do you, again, going back to the same burning issue of security, right? So how do you make sure there is no fraud in this entire process? All the documents are legally verifiable. There is no counterfeit of any kind. And all parties are, and how do you register them, right? So for example, there's a land transaction, you have to make, you have to connect your systems with, I think, government agencies, etc. also to finalize a particular transaction, right? How do you do that?
Yeah, that's a very good question, actually. And we are actually looking to go into that space also eventually. So what we feel is, as of now, today, you know, when you want to record any kind, register any kind of a contract, it may be between a landowner and a tenant. So what they do is they go to a notary and they give their ID proofs, and that is how it is verified. They also have to go with the land property. The owner has to go with the document. So we have the same process here, you know. You upload these and KYC, we have an integrated KYC which will take care of that verification of the individual.
KYC verification of individuals, but you still have to, I'm just trying to see what part of the whole process does it automate. So, because there are a lot of these, you know, organizations, the government organizations at various levels that you have to interact with to finalize a committed transaction, right? That is the important piece of, which is a bottleneck in the whole process. And that is not being solved here. So what is the final solution? What is the impact, business impact of this solution? What is it trying to solve?
Yeah, at this point, the land, the records and all that, the various governments actually in various, we have seen already in government of Telangana, they have already started using the blockchain, you know, for all their land records, and also there's government of Haryana, so many other governments also going into it. Eventually, we presume that, you know, it will be completely on blockchain. So we will be able to use this process. But as of now, we are at a stage where we are trying to see a beachhead market is the startups, you know, the startups which do not have access to all the legal procedures. They do not have even access to any retainers, you know, because they're always charging high rates. So we are trying to, you know, go with them, and eventually once things are, you know, in order, we hope to go to that extent also with the land records and everything. So what we are trying to do now is we are simplifying the onboarding process.
Got it. Thank you.
So this is, yeah, if I could just add here, we are also having the along with the integrated KYC, we also are going to have the integrated payment services here, you know. So the contract is going to be end to end for the user.
All right, Santosh, you have any questions?
I think this is a you know, sort of, you know, very vast kind of thinking. So my question is, have you selected a specific industry to get in? Like, you know, have you started deploying it for one or two segments and which are those?
Yes, we actually, as I just told you earlier, we are targeting the startups, but then we also did pilot run with financial institution. So that was a fintech industry, which that domain has the highest level of security, in check. So we started our pilot with them, and the first one was with a financial institution, and the second one also we are targeting. We are actually in talks to do the second pilot. So hopefully, things go good. We will have a good solution actually in hand and do a commercial launch.
And how many people in the team?
We are right now 6 people actually. We are, most of them are developers because this is really vast. So we need to actually develop it in modules. So we have quite a bit actually doing that. I'm doing the, the business operations part.
Got it. Got it. Yeah, thanks. That's my question.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Aman Seth, the team leader of Vision X. The submission type of this project is solo. The title of our project is NFT Marketplace for Aravind, and this project is under the theme Indian Artists NFTs. So Aravind is a one-stop marketplace solution for all the needs. So here's the introduction to the problem statement and motivation of building Aravind. The booming of crypto talks and NFTs in the era 2021 and 2022 has brought to explore the pre-built platform like OpenSea and Rarible. The idea to build multi-feature application arose when I understood that there is no reliable website for the local talented artist from a small village, from a small town to showcase and monetize their talent. Also, there is a gap between government and private entities to switch to blockchain technology. While doing so, I found an additional problem, which is massive high gas fees ruining the Web3 industry. Gas fees are high for those who are belonging to small town or the local talented artists, not for us. And thereby bringing us to produce a decentralized platform called Aravind, which is a one-stop solution. So here's the objective of creating Aravind. So we intend to create a multi-stage model to build a smooth, reliable, user-friendly, gas-free, and secure marketplace for local talented artists, content creators, common users, NFT producers, and distributors to help government and private entities to adapt the Web3 version and migrate their existing centralized system to the decentralized blockchain world. Here's a survey of the existing system or the existing platforms like OpenSea and Rarible. So high gas fees, massive gas fees to purchase and sell NFTs in one of the major problem. The second problem is the content creator verification. Some platform which has a content creator verification part gets eventually from minimum 3 days to a week. The third problem is lack of trust after sale services. Non-proper NDA disclosure, contract non-disclosure to public is another problem. The fourth is migration of system, that is non-availability of tech mechanism to migrate the current system to decentralized blockchain technology is another problem. And the fifth and the major problem is lack of user-friendly platform for the local talented artist. So here is the requirement specification and technology stack which we use for building Aravind. So the production platform which we used is VS Code, Remix, Ganache, and Binance. For the authentication sources, we used Morales, Wallet Connect, MetaMask. For the web technology, we used HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React.js, Node.js, and MongoDB. For the coding language, we used Web3.js, Solidity for smart contracts, and for hosting service architecture, we use Amazon AWS Amplify, Lambda API Gateway, S3, CloudFront, and Route to S3. And here's the design of the system of how exactly our multi-stage model. So the our model NFT marketplace is a multi-stage, multi-phase model where we deal with the different things onto different model. The first stage deals with the NFT marketplace for local talented common artists. In this phase, we are customer centric. We are focusing on the local talented artists to onboard them and keep the gas fees as low as possible. How this gas fees is lower and how we are trying to get it is explained in stage 2. In stage 2, we are planning to onboard multiple YouTubers, content creators, and all social celebs. Where we onboard them, we give them a particular amount of token asset and initialization and distribution. Where we, for example, we give 1,000 NFTs to a particular YouTuber. We ask them to distribute to their local community. Once that is distributed, we charge for example, the YouTuber keeps 100 rupees for a particular NFT. So we charge a 10% of commission. That is, we get the 10 rupees. After getting that 10 rupees, we supply that 10 rupees from stage 2 model to a stage 1 model, where we supply that money for keeping the gas fees low. And that's exactly how our marketing model works. And that's how we are successful to get the low gas fees. So currently, for statistics, we have initially planned and reduced the gas fees by 10 times of the actual gas fees which is charged by OpenSea and Rarible. The third NFT marketplace, the third multi-stage model deals with the NFT marketplace for software selling. This marketplace is basically for software projects, for the algorithmic selling, for the NDA sign-offs, and for the creating trust for the ownership display on blockchain network of who exactly the owner is. And the fourth stage deals with the NFT marketplace for Aravind. The first three stages, or the multi-stage first three models, is for non-profit, and the fourth stage deals with the for-profit, where we get the contracts of private and public networks, that is government and private entities, and we get their system from centralized to decentralized technology. So here is the overview of our platform. There are some of the pictures which will be displayed on the demo.
We have 1 minute left.
Yeah. We also planning to release our Aravind coin on Binance after the release of Aravind onto the market after the 3 months of initially, and that's also what we plan to. Here is as we are running out of time, I'll directly jump to the demo. Here are some of the expected results. Here's some of the conclusion and future scope, and here's the references, and we directly jump to the. So this is the particular demo of our website, where this is the front-end application, that is Aravind, where we see the digital NFTs and artists, which is the front-end application. After we scroll, we see the top artist of the week. It is based on custom recommendation and system. The third is the explore page, where the NFTs are categorized on the basis of games, arts, trading cards, music, domain names, memes, collectibles, and everything in each of the NFTs is categorized on the basis of that. Then we can also display the collections. We can see the collections present on the bottom of the screen, where we have different category-based collections. For example, the picture of flowers, the picture of a particular art, or the particular picture of mountains. So we have that. When you click on a particular NFT, we see the NFT description, we see the page, who created the NFT, what is the bidding system, who has purchased the NFT, what is the history, who is the current owner, who was the past owner, what was the price, what was the minimum bid which was placed, what was the count, what is the countdown, and when we click on the buy now option, we are redirected to gateway. This option appears when we are not connected to MetaMask. So we have to just enter the amount, we see the available quantity, and when we click on add funds, we are redirected to the payment gateway, which is sendwire.com.
Aman will start the Q&A, right? You can explain more on that. I'll ask Santosh to start the Q&A.
Yeah, so I think, Aman, the question is, what's the exact thought process? Because are you trying to do an ape coin? Are you trying to create a OpenSea? What is the motivation behind it? Like Indian artist, I got that, but then beyond that.
Yes. Yeah. So the idea is to create a multi-stage model. The primary focus is to create an NFT marketplace for the local talented artists, which are from the small place, which are not very much understood and familiarity of the languages like English. So we planning to create a marketplace for focusing on this customer-centric focus on the local talented artists. After that, we are planning to create an NFT marketplace for the YouTube creators. So what we'll do is we'll create a content in form of application where we create a YouTube tutorials in Hindi, English, and multiple languages, and and thereby we creating a user-friendly platform for this local people to get understand of how exactly our platform works. So that is the initial plan, and later on we are planning to switch to the NFT marketplace for software selling. We plan to release the coin, and then we also running the organization for private. As a private organization for generating funds. That's the initial. That's what exactly.
Got it. Okay, that's my question.
Gopal, any questions from yourself?
No, I'm trying to understand the whole value proposition. So you're creating an NFT marketplace for local artists, I understand, right? But in that you didn't mention what is the blockchain framework that you're using. That's the first question. The second question is what are you playing around with YouTube? Like what is that? How do you connect? Why do you connect YouTube with this marketplace?
Yeah, so I'll explain. So the answering to the first question, which blockchain we are currently dealing with, currently we are dealing with Ethereum and Polygon, which are already present on the platform, and we can eventually do the transactions on to that blockchain. And this coming to the second question, why, what is YouTuber content creation? What is the second model? How are doing it? So answer, this is a very complex thing to get understand, but simplifying, I'll try to simplify. The second stage model is exactly about value proposition of the marketing model. The current gas fees is, for example, we have 10 rupees per NFT. So what are we trying to do is the 10 rupees that have to be paid by the local talented artist or the common consumer, we are not allowing them to pay. We are paying from the second marketing model. What we are doing is we get 1,000 NFT collection. We give that 1,000 to the YouTuber that is onboarded on platform. We ask them to distribute that 1,000 NFTs to their community. After distributing that 1,000 NFTs, for example, one NFT price is 100 rupees, then we charge a 10% of commission onto that. So that 10 rupees from 100 rupees is generated into our pocket. After we get that 10 rupees, we are supplying that 10 rupees to our stage one model, where the local talented artist is present. So thereby reducing the gas fees to the minimum possible, or we are trying to remove this gas fees from our structure. But the gas fees is eventually paid by us, so the blockchain is maintained and everything goes well. That is exactly how we are trying to build this platform.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Gopal. Aravind, do you have a question?
So by YouTubers, you are referring to the social media influencers, is it?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So it has got nothing to do with YouTube. In the sense like video content or anything that is there on YouTube. So you're basically the art you want to distribute via influencers to whoever their buyers or their followers, right?
Yeah.
Why would the influencers do it?
So basically, what they also want to, for example, the YouTube जब content बनता है YouTube पे, eventually that is everything is for profit. Nothing is for free. Like the content, the YouTuber get monetization on the basis of the ads for public. So eventually, what we are trying to do is initially we are trying to onboard the YouTubers, and we are asking them to sell that 1,000 NFTs for free. Like we are giving them we are giving them for the free 1,000 NFTs, and we are asking them to sell that 1,000 NFTs for a particular cost, whatever cost they want to. And on the basis of that, for a particular NFT, we're going to charge the 10% commission for generating the marketing model and the marketing business. And after that, generating the 10% commission, we are trying to supply it to the local talented artists. And that's how exactly what we're trying to do.
Okay. And did you? I missed the architecture part. So is there the AWS pieces that you are using in this?
Yeah, so basically for hosting services, we are using AWS Amplify Lambda. For the API, we also using the API gateway. We are using the S3, the CloudFront, and the Route 53. That's exactly what we are using. But we in future we are planning to use more and more stuff as of services of Amazon as well.
The next team is Mind Inc. Bots.
So hi everyone, I am Harshit Agarwal and I am going to present ShopMap for Amazon Smbhav Hackathon 2022. So ShopMap by name is a platform which tries to map these local shops, which tries to put these local shops on the map, and it helps the customers to find the product in the local shops. So to start with, we selected the Amazon Smbhav theme, the business innovation, where we are trying to find a solution for the small and medium enterprises and these retail shops and bring them back into the economy. So meeting the team, we are a 4-member team. Myself, Harshit Agarwal, I have built the AI with WhatsApp bot, the project integration. Bubbly has worked on UI, Umesh backend, and Jyoti has worked on product fetching APIs and project documentation. So talking about the problem statement is not very difficult to understand. It's very simple that on internet we have mechanisms, we have tools to compare prices between different of products between different e-commerce marketplaces. but there is no way where I can go and look for a product price in my local shop or the shops nearby me. Main problem is the product comparison or finding the products in the local shops, right? Also, there is one more problem, which is, after a customer goes out of the shop, there is no way for the shop owner to communicate with its customers, right? All these Amazon, Flipkart, these have these big billion days where they market it and they get so many customers and sales. Our local shops also have these sales floating around, for which they either provide an ad in the newspaper and that is it, right? They are not able to market their products or their sales or their deals on local, digital platform. So moving on to solution, what we are trying to do is we are trying to bring the retailers to the e-commerce game or the online landscape. For this, we are not going to build any other e-commerce store for them and trying to promote them. We are trying to build a WhatsApp store for them and leverage the conversation commerce to do the conversions and to do the sales. All right. So if we talk about the solution for the shop map, there is a customer portal where the customer can copy paste any product URL from any of these e-commerce stores, and we will reverse engineer, or we will fetch the product details from that e-commerce store and try to find that product based on the location of the customer. And moving forward, we will have a broadcast kind of a system where the shop owners can communicate with the customers as well. All right. So if we talk about the technologies that we have used Node.js for the backend technology, React.js for the front end. We are currently using Rainforest API to fetch the product details from Amazon, Flipkart, etc. Moving forward, we will be using certain more APIs or scrapping or those kind of techniques. We are using WhatsApp business APIs for communicating with the customers. We are leveraging AWS for deploying our solutions and DynamoDB for storing our database. All right. So this is the high level architecture of the overall shop app. On the left hand side, we have all these shops. These shops are a WhatsApp business account, right? And all these shops will have a catalog attached to them, and these catalogs will be synced with our central database of shop map. On the right hand side, we have customers who are basically inputting the Amazon product link and their locations, and based on the location and the product search, we try to find the best shop that is that has that product, and maybe providing it in lesser delivery time or lesser price, and so and so. So this is the high level architecture. Let's move on to the quick demo. So this is the customer interface. This is a POC where the customer can input the Amazon URL. Let's say the customer wants to purchase this particular product from Amazon. He will directly input this URL, and as soon as he inputs this, these are the shops nearby to him with 4.8 kilometer, 5.5 kilometers, something like that, where he can buy the same product. And this is the pricing of these products. All right. Now, as soon as he clicks on the go to store, this will take a little bit of time. It takes a little bit of time to load WhatsApp. But if we go here, it will basically open the WhatsApp for that particular shop with a pre-filled message that I want to buy this specific product. As soon as the customer clicks on the send button, our WhatsApp chatbot will come into play, and the bot will display the required product to the customer. The product can check the product details. He can either talk to the business, add to the cart, and check out to the cart, and do the purchase right here from the WhatsApp. All right. Now, apart from the customer portal and this shop interface,
30 seconds.
Yeah, sorry. Apart from that, there is this shop dashboard. This is the shop owner dashboard. From this dashboard, the shop owner can look at certain analytics on the dashboard and also do a communication with all its customers. Right? For example, I have currently checked out this product. I can ask, do you still want to purchase?
So how are you onboarding the small business owners to this platform?
So currently, we are only starting with one category, which is electronics and these mobile phone shop owners, because the set of products are very predefined. So currently, we are onboarding them and what shall I say, capturing their invoices. We have this whole dashboard where we ask them to provide a WhatsApp number, and we do the WhatsApp business verification for them. And within 15-20 minutes, not their whole inventory will be with us, but the basic WhatsApp business account will be active within, let's say, 1 hour or so if the business is verified. After that, the customer will be able to, the shop owner will be able to add his catalog using this or directly going to Facebook Catalog Manager.
Okay, thanks.
Gopal, what Arshit is trying to do is basically trying to make local Kirana shops great again. Right. And one question related to that, Harshit, is how will customers discover this bot? Right, before you go to the plugin.
Right. So there are two ways. I mean, yes, reaching to the mass is a problem, but to start with, we will have these QR codes and this marketing on the shops that we have already onboarded, right? So
no, if I am a digital customer, how will, if there's an electronic shop near my house, how will I even discover your bot as a consumer?
So we can definitely go with digital marketing. So let's say we can run the digital campaigns which says.
So it's only through that process, right? That I'll be able to discover your bot. Okay.
Right.
Got it.
So we have built Kalakar. A small story before this. My dad is an Amazon seller and he faces trouble every time he wants to update or add some new item on the website. He isn't technically trained to use the web interface. He faces trouble due to the organization because it is just a rudimentary shop. There are production delays and due to low education rates of retail owners, they aren't familiar with the entire system. That's when we thought this was a real problem. But Amazon did solve it in a very small sense. They had built Amazon Seller, wherein they could provide visibility and consumer market to the entire India. But this solution wasn't exactly apt for India. They wanted something which was more handy. All the retail owners, it is not retail owner friendly. Every updation needs to take place via a PC or a laptop. Constant point of contact is missing. With the Indian scenario, not everyone has a PC or a laptop. 54% of Indians have a smartphone now. Difficult for retailers to cope with the web interface. Entire procedure feels complex and risky. So that is when we thought, why not build an inventory bot that could manage it very smoothly. So we had built Kalakar. This is an automated inventory management using social media bot. It is cross-platform integrated and user-friendly approach. We had rounded off to use WhatsApp because there are 390 million users in India, and India honestly loves WhatsApp. The 75% weekly user activity on WhatsApp is what we require. So Kalakar is a WhatsApp-based bot which was built based on Twilio API and Node.js. The data produced is passed and stored in Amazon S3. Data logs of each transaction are stored using MongoDB to maintain data consistency and persistency. More delicate recommendation of the products using Amazon personalized to maximum sales and profit. Better communication service between stakeholders using social media integration. So this is the entire architecture flow. So the Amazon seller uploads all the details of the product using the WhatsApp bot that would later access the Amazon S3 storage and store it. So using from the data storage, we would then push it to the e-commerce website. In this case, it might be Amazon, and then the end user is able to access it. So we make the entire process for the seller very easy. to create, update basic CRUD operations without using the web interface app. So the target market is onboarding various Indian retailers that would help them to leverage this methodology. The unorganized market sector is where we ensure that we can definitely tap in. This is a very undertapped market. In fact, in India, many housewives sell saris and all sorts of clothing items on WhatsApp, but they are never really organized. So we could build this sort of platform wherein they can upload the products and just send the Amazon link to buy it. Amazon provides services for delivery, so this helps in creating an end-to-end solution. The monetization plan that we have is that each retailer would pay a convenience fee, which would be a small amount, and or else we could have a pay-per-use model. The first few transactions could be free, and in order to attract more potential customers, every product addition would have an upgradation charge. So future vision of Kalakar is multiple social media integration, UPI and GST features, usage of Amazon managed blockchain to have a transparent supply chain, AWS serverless image processing, integration to drop spam and irrelevant message, propose a pipeline architecture for handling large data set. Now we'll move on to the demo. I hope my screen is visible and the video is audible. This is a demo of the Kalakar app.
Yes.
We first enter hi on the WhatsApp chatbot. We wait for a reply from Twilio Sandbox. Here you can find options to create and update a product. We choose to create a new product. The name of the item is asked. We enter artistic lamp for it. Describe the item would generally mean the basic description of the lamp. Then the price of the item can be set by the retailer. Quantity of the item available at the retailer store can also be set. Indian retailers also can upload images of their product on our WhatsApp bot. The image is selected and uploaded. Once it is successful, the Kalakar bot would show you a thank you message. It would soon get reflected on the website. For our data storage, we use MongoDB. As you can see, the latest item is now updated. We also get a console log of the same. This is the demo of the WhatsApp chatbot. Thank you. As you can see, the website has been updated with the current products which have been shown in the MongoDB database as well. This can be mimicked on the Amazon's website, and retailers can hence increase their profits. This way, this is a complete solution for the Indian retailers and Amazon. We would now like to take any questions.
Thank you, Team Bullion Pandit. We'll start with Arvind.
How are you going to handle returns, product faults, and all that? Feedback from the customer.
First initial few questions were to just add an item, like basic CRUD operation. But the feedback on the return service can also be added as a question, and this will be directly gone to the Amazon seller itself. So it is like a very transparent process without the middleman interface. So this would also help Amazon to create a new architecture kind of thing, which is very user friendly.
Okay.
So there will be a direct communication between the stakeholders.
Primarily targeting Amazon seller and not Amazon resellers, right?
Yes, this is for Amazon sellers, but we would also enable this for reselling as well.
How will you enable reselling if I am an Amazon seller myself?
I meant reseller in a very colloquial sense, wherein people purchase some item from a local store and they want to sell it somewhere else. In, let's say, they shop it in Bangalore and they want to sell it to Hyderabad in a lot of quantity, but make it in a procedural format.
Got it. Second question is, this solution will currently is being designed only for existing Amazon sellers. not to bring new Amazon sellers onto the platform through your bot.
Yeah, with the scope of the hackathon and the timeline that we had, we couldn't ensure security for the registration of new sellers, because the entire procedure to become a seller in Amazon itself is extensive. So once we figure out the nitty-gritties of it, I think we can definitely integrate it.
Okay. And currently, once I update the inventory, as to what I could understand from the bot, it will directly go and update the Amazon inventory as a seller in that portal through your Amazon seller APIs.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Got it.
And we use Amazon Web Services, basically S3 and Amazon Personalized for recommendation, other stuff.
The next team, the final one, is Team Ripple. I hope you guys are here.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Can you see my screen, sir?
Yes, we can.
Yes. So thanks Amazon for giving this wonderful opportunity. So this is Team Ripple, team members of Arish Kumar, that's me from PH College of Technology, Coimbatore. I am presenting this project under the team of Business Innovation. So let's move on to the problem, project title and problem statement. So the project title is Product Visualization by Incorporating Augmented Reality, that is AR technology in online shopping. The problem is many manufacturing industries like small and medium scale industries in India, they have less marketability and brand identity, and also they have a poor customer experience. So even though they have they are manufacturing a good quality of products, like good finished products, it has less visibility to the people and less visibility to the market. So how to enhance the market capabilities and enhance the customer experience doing the online shopping performance? The solution is that AR technology. So AR gives the 3D virtual model in a real world environment. So the customer can visualize the product in their mobile phone using the camera. So normally the customer they can do online shopping. So they can use a mobile app. It can be a company manufacturer's mobile app, or else the other e-commerce mobile apps, anything. So they can check the products, whatever they want to purchase it, and they can click the AR feature. That is one additional option in that app. So they can, once they click the AR option, the camera will open. Automatically they can visualize the product, what they are going to purchase. So in the 360-degree way, they can see the 3D product in their real world environment, in their in front of them, in like a table or chair, whatever it is. So why it is so important? So it has two benefits in that. So one is for customers, another is for manufacturers. For customers, currently every customers want to needs clarity on the product before going to purchase it. I need this parts. What is the products? What are the parts are assembled in that product? How about the aesthetics and how about the colors made? Everything they are accounting now. So the AR technology gives these things gives a better clarity on the product to the customer. They can preview the product before going to purchase, like a physical store in the online platform. So it enables the better purchasing decision to the customer and also increase the customer experience. For manufacturer says they can improve their marketability in the current market. And also it improves the competitive advantage between the competitors. They can stand alone the market. And also it increases the brand identity of the manufacturer products, and also it attracts a lot of customers in the market so that it can generate more revenue to the companies. So how to do that? So one way is that we can use the Amazon Sumerian. So that is an augmented reality VR application development platform in that. So in that Amazon Cognitive Dynamo Lambda, all these things are. So once we create the ARs in the Amazon Sumerian, we can further develop that app into an Android or iOS based on the platform. We can use these tools presented in the slide. But the thing is, currently Amazon Sumerian is not accepting a new customers now. So I move on to the next way to do the augmented reality. So I currently used the Unity and Vuforia engine for doing this augmented reality. The Unity is game engine. Vuforia is used for the augmented reality recognition. So initially we need to do the image targets, and then I created a 3D model of the product using SolidWorks, Blender, etc. And then I also incorporated AWS mobile SDK Unity to the Unity, and also developed UI elements and some scripts and ARC. And after that, we can export into an Android platform or iOS platform. So currently in this project, I did for Android. So let's talk about the AWS frameworks here. So currently I'm using the AWS frameworks for user authentication. So I'm using the Amazon Cognitive for that login credentials. So I created a user pool in the Amazon Cognito console. So I linked that user pool ID with the Unity app. Likewise, similar things work. So straight away go to the demonstration part. So this is the screenshot of that mobile app. So this I created for the pump manufacturing industry. So that I'm showing the 3D model of the pump. So whatever else we can show the different products, it depends upon the manufacturers. So we can give there is an option like rotation and scaling option, and they can disassemble and assemble the product. They can see the product in a 360-degree way. They can see how it individual parts are assembled. So it's this again another product like a pump variety. This one is again another product like called self-framing pump. So you can see that it's look like a real product. So actually there is no product on the table, but we can see on the camera there is a product on the table. Even the customer don't want to go to online store, there is no option for going to our physical store. They can see in a real product even doing the online shopping itself by using the AI technology. So let's move on to the demo part. So I'm playing this video.
The developer mobile app is installed in an Android device. So once the customer opens the mobile app, after completing the authentication process, the camera will open. If you place the target image on the table or any other surface, the product will appear on that.
Open well submersible mono block pump.
So we can customizely scale the product based on our convenience. We can see the product in 360-degree way. If the customer clicks the rotate option, the product will rotate. We also do the slider option for rotating the product by customized manner.
Activating disassemble mode.
If the user clicks the disassemble button, the product automatically disassemble with based on their parts. The user again clicks the assemble button, it will automatically assemble.
Activating assemble mode.
So the audio will also incorporated with the mobile app. It tells the user what is going on. So again, this one for
self-priming pump.
Another product is called self-priming pump. So same features we can do for a number of products. So it depends upon the manufacturers, we can show different kind of products to the customer.
Thank you, Harish.
Yes, sir. That is from my side, sir. Thank you.
Okay, we'll move to Q&A. Let's start with Gopal.
So you showed this whole video from a customer perspective, right? A consumer perspective. How does it operate or look from a retailer perspective? If I'm selling something,
yes, sir.
How does this whole experience work for me? Should I take pictures and send it across to you?
No, sir. It's actually need a 3D model. So then only we can show that 3D model in the augmented reality. So every manufacturing industries have the 3D model of their product, what they are manufacturing, even with the every part with the assemble. So we can directly get the 3D models of the product. We can further do some rendering option, some extra coloring option. We can incorporate the augmented reality part only. So
you store everything in a database, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We need to create a database.
Where do you get all this data from? From all the manufacturers you are saying, right?
Yes, sir. From the manufacturer side, we need to get the 3D models of that product. If the manufacturers want to show their product in augmented reality way, in online shopping, they need to give a 3D model. So we will do an augmented reality functionalities in that product, so customer can enable see.
Okay, got it.
Thank you all the teams for the wonderful presentation. And with this, we conclude the presentation today. I would request jury members to comment how the overall quality of products and ideas were, how was their experience. I will start with Aravind.
Yeah, it was a pretty refreshing thing to see young engineers and people in this newer technologies, blockchain, AR, NFT and all. Again, nobody can scale everything from 0 to 100 in their first mock-up. So there will be, there will be drawbacks, there will be some gaps, etc. But it was a very good experience looking at Indian minds, young Indian minds today.
Thank you, Arvind. Bimlesh, over to you. Your comments, please.
Yeah, overall, I think fantastic, solutions coming out with trying to solve some real potential problems and some real problems which exist today. The ones with NFTs and metaverses are all, upcoming problems. India is still, in the catch-up phase when it comes to finding adopters in that space. So very nice, shortlisting process and trying to bring these top 10. Thank you for having me on this one.
Thank you, Bimlesh. Santosh?
Yeah, so I think, fantastic to see the depth in thinking and quality in, kind of navigating the presentation and story. I think that's very important. Like quite a bit of presentation clarity into this. Because in such forums, very difficult to convey everything in 10-15 minutes, right? If you can, I think you're doing an amazing job, right? I think that is one. So to all the participants, definitely kudos. Second, some of the products, considering that they are in, early part of the career or doing side gigs, they are able to pull out such a depth, commendable on, getting to depth on the Amazon stacks usage, or thinking from a business point of view, and the clarity in some of the, already built, even if we call it an MVP, right? At the MVP stage itself, it's looking so good, right? So I think overall, very well time spent to learn and be with the folks who are building it. And thanks for having me here with the panel and with the folks.
Thank you, Santosh. I'll invite Gopal. Gopal has been involved with the hackathon from the very early stage, so has more exposure to the overall process. Gopal, your views on the overall process, project submissions and everything.
Absolutely, it's been marvelous experience the past couple of hours. As Prakash pointed out, that the theme is Smbhav. We're going to show all the retailers, small businesses, what is possible, right? Using your innovation, your brain power, etc. So that way it came out very wonderfully. And some of these ideas could be, the next unicorn ideas too. So I would say keep working on it. And some of them are so young that I saw that, juggling all these services, innovating along the way is really very refreshing to see, right? If I would just add one comment, and this is not consistent throughout, the ideas were great. When you articulate, you try to articulate your value proposition more clearly. The storyline has to come out more clearly. If we are a set of venture capitalists sitting, right? So you have to tell us what your differentiation is. That is very important. That has to come out, right? What is out there in the marketplace, and what is that extra thing that you offer, that the wow factor that you offer has to come out more clearly, is my only one feedback.
Thank you, Gopal. I would like to thank Amazon for sponsoring this hackathon.